Is it just me, or is there something fishy about the election result? First, Trump kept saying during the campaign that he didn't need votes.
You don't have to vote. Don't worry about voting. The voting, we got plenty of votes. We don't need votes. We got more votes than anybody's ever had. We don't need votes. I tell my people, I don't need any votes. We got all the votes we need. I don't need votes.
My instruction, we don't need the votes. I have so many votes.
Second, Elon Musk kept talking about how easy it would be to hack the voting machines. In June, Elon tweeted, "We should eliminate electronic voting machines. The risk of being hacked by humans or AI, while small, is still too high." The next day, Musk replied to another tweet about voting machines and said anything can be hacked. One curious side note here is in April of 2022, one of the organizers of the January 6th insurrection, Alfie Oakes, actually posted something about voting machines on X directed at Elon. He said, Elon Musk needs to buy Dominion and fix the crooked voting machines. Remember the name Alfie Oakes, because that may become relevant later. In July, Musk shared his endorsement of Trump on X. In October, Musk appears at a Trump rally, dancing around and describing himself as Dark MAGA, wearing a black hat.
As you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm Dark MAGA.
Perhaps it's a coincidence, but a black hat is a common phrase to describe a hacker who violates laws or ethical standards for nefarious purposes, such as cybercrime, cyber warfare, or malice. 2 days later, Musk does an interview with Tucker Carlson, in which he says this.
If he loses, man, what? You're fucked, dude.
I'm fucked. If he loses, I'm fucked.
It does seem that way. You can't just be like,
Yeah, I'm like, how long do you think my prison sentence is going to be? Do you think, will I see my children? I don't know.
Because it's not like you can say, well, yeah, I maxed out to him, but, I get...
I have no plausible deniability. No, and I've been trashing Kamala nonstop.
Oh, I know!
That's a strange thing to say. Why would he think he'd be going to prison for a long time? A few days later, Musk is banging on again about how easy it is to hack things.
I'm a technologist. I know a lot about computers. And I'm like, the last thing I would do is trust a computer program. Because it's just too easy to hack. It's too easy to add just one line.
On October 24th, Newsweek publishes an article saying that Musk has kept in contact with Russian President Vladimir Putin since late 2022, and Putin asked Musk not to activate his Starlink satellites over Taiwan as a favor to Chinese leader Xi Jinping. 3 days later, Trump brags they have a little secret that they'll tell us about after the election.
We got to get the congressmen elected, and we got to get the senators elected, because we can take the Senate pretty easily. And I think with our little secret, we're going to do really well with the House, right? Our little secret is having a big impact. He and I have a secret. We'll tell you what it is when the race is over.
This might be a good time to rewind a little, back to July of this year, when Rolling Stone published an article that said in the swing states of Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania, there were at least 70 pro-Trump election conspiracists currently working as county election officials, and at least 22 of these county election officials have refused or delayed certification in recent years, so it's a little unclear what the secret could be. However, again, it's an odd thing to brag about. The day before the election, Trump holds his final rally with hundreds of empty seats. It's now Election Day, and Elon confidently tweets this around 9 a.m. Pacific. The cavalry has arrived. Men are voting in record numbers. They now realize everything is at stake. Across the battleground states, there are 67 bomb threats, mainly targeting Democratic counties where Joe Biden won comfortably in 2020. Trump casts his vote in Palm Beach, and afterwards he speaks to the media and says something very odd and completely out of character.
It's an election. If it's a fair election, I'd be the first one to acknowledge it. And I think so far, I think it's been fair. I think there's been a lot of court cases. Both sides are lawyered up.
Remember, this is before they've started to count the votes. After years of saying that elections are rigged against him, why is he suddenly saying this election is fair? After all, he was present at the rally the day before, where the stadium was half full, and the polls were neck and neck. We also learned from Joe Rogan that, once they do start counting the votes, Musk has an app that tells him the election result 4 hours before anyone else.
Apparently, Elon created an app and he knew who won 4 hours before the results. So as the results were coming in, 4 hours before they called it, Dana White told me Elon was like, "I'm leaving. It's over. Donald won." He just fucking somehow or another.
I'm going to go back into my pod and evaporate.
I don't know what he's getting, where he's pulling his data from, but he had like the most accurate data in terms of the rural states hadn't put the results in yet, but yet Trump was ahead in these states. Kamala's never going to win those states, so tabulated that and like put it all together. I don't know how he did it.
Yes, it's a bit of a mystery, huh? In her concession speech, Kamala said a few things that have left people wondering whether she's already clued in to what Donald Trump's secret could be.
The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, and we will continue to wage this fight in the voting booth, in the courts, and in the public square. On the campaign, I would often say, when we fight, we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win.
We also learned after the election that Starlink, Musk's internet service provider, was being used at polling places.
Registrar Michelle Baldwin says access to connectivity was improved this year thanks to Starlink satellite internet. She adds early technical difficulties with a tabulator machine were quickly fixed and did not impact vote count.
On the same day, it's revealed that Musk's SpaceX company has asked its Starlink suppliers to physically relocate out of Taiwan, given Putin had previously asked Musk not to operate in Taiwan as a favor for the Chinese president. One has to wonder about why SpaceX did this, and also note the curious timing coming days after the election. It's also very curious that there are reports of Starlink satellites starting to explode in space. We also start to see social media posts querying the election.
News in North Carolina, breaking news in the battleground states, and a strange trend I see where practically every statewide Democrat in North Carolina won overwhelmingly, and somehow Donald Trump manages to win. It doesn't make any sense.
One report links the bomb threats, which is described as a possible distraction, as well as observed irregularities with voting machines. Even MAGA supporters feel like something is off right now.
Hey, we need to pray for President Trump in our country. Something just in my spirit just doesn't feel right. I've had other people mention it. Our pastor mentioned it too. The way Kamala and Biden were so calm, maybe they're just really calm about it. But can we just pray that President Trump actually gets to the White House?
Remember Alfie Oakes, the January 6th organizer who was encouraging Musk to fix the voting machines? Well, after the election, a number of federal and local agencies, including the Secret Service and the Department of Defense, raided his home and business. Ostensibly, the raid was about an unpaid loan, and perhaps has nothing to do with the election. But the timing, and the fact the Secret Service and Department of Defense are involved, is certainly raising some eyebrows. The media are really quiet about it. It's just another odd thing in a long list of oddities. Finally, in recent days, AOC said something very cryptic to her TikTok followers. Perhaps a big news story might drop soon.
Questions to this effect: what's the game plan? What do we do? What's the deal? And what happened is so massive that it's going to take just a second. It's coming, but it's going to take a second to share.
Do you have more information? Please like, comment, and share.